Hey, what's going on everybody? Paul Tech here, and this is the ZTE Blade X Max for Cricket Wireless. Now I've owned this device for about 4 weeks now. I've already posted a full review, but I wanted to go ahead and talk to you guys a little bit more about my experience with this device. Now as you can see from the bottom corners there is damage. I have dropped this device several times. That is kind of a risk I take by doing most of my filming and reviews outdoors without a case. But I gotta say, this is a very durable device. It was dropped from about 3 feet and it's very minimal damage that has occurred, pretty much just to the bottom. And to the back there, as you can see, even with suffering a drop, there really is no damage to the back. The glass of the back camera is still intact, and I'm sure glad that the back is made out of plastic, because I'm sure if it was glass, it would have shattered into pieces, but I would still definitely recommend a case for this device. Now, another thing I want to talk about is that fingerprint sensor, and it's been a joy using the fingerprint sensor. I mean, there's really no issues with it. It's responsive, it's accurate. Every time I put my finger on it, it just unlocks the device like it should. Now in the past 4 weeks, I haven't had any issues with this display, no screen bleeding, nothing like that. And pretty much whatever type of wallpaper you throw on this device, it's gonna look good with that 6-inch Full HD display. And the Dragon Tail glass, even though it's not Corning Gorilla Glass, it's actually pretty tough because it did survive several drops to the concrete and did not shatter whatsoever. Now when it comes to 4G LTE connectivity, and did I suffer any type of drop calls or issues like that in the past 4 weeks, I didn't. It's actually been pretty good. I traveled from San Francisco all the way up to Oregon, getting phone calls, text messages. As you can see, badge notifications right there. So no issues with the 4G LTE coverage in my experience. Now for the first 2 to 3 weeks, I did rock this stock ZTE launcher here and their icons. And ZTE does provide a pretty much near stock Android experience with some ways of adding themes if you like, but I just pretty much went ahead and threw on Zte Launcher on this, and I think it looks a lot better. And I really like the customizable features that Zte Launcher provides. I like the fact that I can swipe up to get into the app drawer. I can change the transparency of it. I also like the fact that when I long press on the applications there, it does give me all those features and options. So for instance, if I long press on Twitter there, you'll see all the different options that is provided. When it comes to sensors that this device has to offer, I've actually been very pleased in the last 4 weeks. I mean, it does have quite a bit that I definitely like to have in a device. Most importantly, the gyroscope, the gyro sensor. Now this device also has the Qualcomm Snapdragon 435, a 1.4 gigahertz processor, the Adreno 505, 2 gigabytes of RAM. When it comes to daily tasks that I use my smartphones for, it's able to do it. I mean, phone calls, text messages, opening up at bat to check my scores of teams that I follow. It's able to do that, jump into Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, which I'll talk about YouTube in a little bit on this review. Like I said, just for like my daily task and just using the device as my daily driver, I'm actually pretty pleased with the performance. A lot of times, you know, I'll have way too many apps open in the background and then I will see some slowdown. So you might experience that as well. And I would say just keep the background apps that are open down to a minimum or clear them out as often as you can. But for the most part, you know, using like this feature right here, multi-window, we got 2 apps open at the same time. It works great. I mean, I got the Google Play Store open, I got YouTube, and that feature I've been using a lot in the past 4 weeks. Now when it comes to YouTube, I want to talk a little bit about that because I know there's been a lot of people having this issue where when you're watching YouTube videos at 720p, 60 frames per second up to 1080p, the display will just totally black out. And I'm still having that issue, not with every single video I've noticed, but it's just like every couple videos that will happen. Not sure exactly why though. Now when it comes to using GPS on the ZTE Blade X Max, in the past 4 weeks, I haven't had any issues. Pretty much I type in the location to the destination and it takes me exactly there. So GPS has been excellent on the ZTE Blade X Max in the past 4 weeks. Now let's jump into settings here because this is something that is excellent. The 32 gigabytes of internal storage with the micro SD card option there as well. This does have adaptable storage, so I haven't needed to use the SD card yet, but I'm pretty much sure I'm going to have to soon. But that is just a great amount of storage. I absolutely love it. I really haven't worried about internal storage on this device since I've had it. Now also this has Android 7.1.1 Nougat. I mean, I said it in my initial review, not even my LG V20 has got 7.1.1 yet, so that's excellent. Now let's go ahead and talk about that 13 megapixel rear facing camera, because that is where a lot of my internal storage has been eaten up, is by taking photos of this little guy right here, whether we're at the park, at the beach, wherever we're at, or even at home. And I do like some of the features you get here, like time-lapse, multi-exposure, panorama, and you do get some manual controls as well. I shot a lot of video on this, and when you're outdoors, good light like this, you'll produce some very nice photos and videos. Low light, yeah, it can get kind of grainy as well. And when it comes to that 3400 milliamp non-removable battery, I get about 4.5 to 5 hours of screen on time. That's what I average, but I'm a very, very heavy user, and oftentimes I disable the battery saver mode. I just don't like that red bar up on top, which I'll show you on the next clip how it looks. But you do get quick charge 2.0 on this, and that does charge up that 3400 milliamp battery rather quickly. So I'm pretty sure you will get way better screen on time than I do, but that's pretty much what I'm averaging as of now as a very heavy user. All right, so overall, I would say the past 4 weeks, I've been very pleased with the ZTE Blade X Max. I mean, there's not a whole lot for me to complain about or even say don't pick it up because of this reason. Nothing at all there. Just still waiting on that update to fix the YouTube application. But overall, for $100 to $150, I think you're getting a good solid smartphone right here. It's a pretty good package. Well, everybody, that's my experience using the ZTE Blade X Max for the past 4 weeks. If you enjoyed the video, found it helpful, informative in any way possible, please hit that thumbs up button. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe for more future videos. And once again, big shout out to ZTE for sending this out to me for review. Much appreciated. And I will talk to you guys on the next one. Bye.